Bye. Shanae.
I do not have the lung capacity, so I just wave.
Like, yeah. Shanae, you are muted.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. That fully tracks.
I saw the
was
face
like-
and I was like, no.
That's
Cool.
fine.
This is
It's
fine.
fine. It's not the outro, which is the more important part of the after show. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Ending on High Notes, our Echoes of Zeppelin after show. Fucking season finale, guys.
Yeah.
We did it.
Did
We
it.
made
We did the damn thing. Cried a lot.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, how's everybody feeling?
Awkward.
drained.
Awkward. Yeah.
Yeah?
That's normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whenever people have big feelings around Flip or me.
No. No.
Yeah,
I
you were
can't
just
have-
like, we know the play. We're gonna get zoomy.
Honestly, Flip was just like, they are having big feelings. They will require food and beverage.
I mean, you're not wrong in that assessment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But did you guys enjoy the fireside overall? Clapperclaw was a fucking treat.
He has a beautiful little bean.
Yeah, full disclosure, Hooli shot me a message 12 minutes before stream. Just going, hey, I'm not feeling too hot. Do you mind running shop? Because for those of you who are watching and are unfamiliar, I am also one of the DMs on the channel. And she gave me some light notes of get to Clapperclaw's camp. She gave me some light environment stuff of what it looked like. And then her other two words were process Henry. And so everything else just kind of came naturally from there. And we kind of let things progress as they will. I can never fully prepare for a caffeinated flip, if I'm being honest.
I wasn't planning the caffeinated Flip. I legit
No one
needed-
ever played sports.
No one ever expects the Spanish Inquisition. I mean,
No one ever expects the caffeinated flip!
Oh, my smarter half says she frequently expects the caffeinated Flip.
You know what? Tracks.
So yeah, tonight's notes, if I may.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
please.
Very normal.
One moment. Get to your assigned seat, your majesty.
Clapper, please. House on the border to thither. Cook a mick. Meet on the docks in the morning. Go back to the castle for tea. Henry's father threatened us. Patricide is next on the list. Lover's mama drama as well. Possible future group names. Kingmakers. Family therapy. Coping mechanisms. Grocery list of vengeance. With 4 exclamation points. Nose game equals test of reality. Cure for existential crises. Boot the snoot. To kill. Same Zai. Henry's dad. Whoever fucked with Delia. Cross that out, Sophie. Nick, parentheses, Mads' ex. And Cece's birth family. And then
Look,
I have
there's a-
the notes on the reading. But this is what we got out of tonight.
There's a whole list with Delia. You got one. I
I'll
gave
start.
you one.
But it was nice kind of getting everybody to a finishing point for the season. Honestly, I think if anything, because this is the season finale, and I think we can easily kind of start with Cece and start with JoJo. Of how do you think that Cece's grown over the course of the campaign so far?
She, like I said tonight, she gives a shit about people. She's never done that before. Because anytime she has, but it's only ever gotten her in trouble. So she stopped. She hasn't in a very long time. and she hasn't really trusted people for a very long time, and she saw the capacity for that. And then also on top of that, the fact that her patron that she worships, that has guided her through so many things, is silent. She's definitely kind of found a purpose there. And kind of gotten stronger and realized that she isn't just like all there for fun and games. Like, she's actually can do shit and get shit done. So yeah, I think that probably about sums it up for her. Which, speaking of the reading, genuinely, those were the cards that I pulled. I just need, like,
That was 4 beautifully relevant cards to each of us. Like, you were like, oh yeah, take what resonates, and you're just sitting there and you're like, all right, cool, well, that one's yours, that one's Mads, that one's Delia, there's Flip, awesome, there it is.
There was a big, like, there was a lot of there were definite connecting points to all of them, of like, we've all been on a journey and a lot has led up to where we are, and there are better things ahead, but we need to continue to focus on not losing what we've gained and kind of use that forward momentum as a like push off point, I guess.
Yeah. And I think the choice of like Mads pushing for the last card was super helpful.
Oh yeah, no, I was like, and that's why I read these in like on a normal basis. People here know this. This is my personal deck. But like, I always ask if you want clarification for something or if it's just another general card that you want. So I'm glad that you specified, because I was like,
Yeah, it was that like, it was the DM Mads like mentality there of like, oh, okay, there's one more. There's like, you gotta, no pun intended, ends on a high note.
True.
And I was like, I know in my gut, if Joe draws one more card, we have our ending. In the same vein, there was also Mads showing that they cared. Of going, okay, obviously anything that we tell you is going to be taken with a grain of salt. But Cece will listen to her cards.
Yep.
And none of those cards said anything bad.
No. I think I would like to look back at what was drawn back at the circus, now that I'm far more familiar with my cards, to actually reinterpret that message.
Yeah, I think that would be super interesting. And if any of you are curious about what the original CC reading was, go ahead and check out our VODs, because everything is recorded. Welcome to the internet. Have a look around. Cappy, what are your thoughts on Flip?
Sorry, I was going back to look at the old cards. I mean, Flip is Flip, and I think Flip hasn't grown so much as yet, as he's gotten, like, he's a lot more comfortable in this version of the Feywild than he was in Topside.
Prime material.
Yeah, whatever you want to call that realm. That realm didn't make no sense. But you know, he's like, he cares more about these people, even if he does it in his own Flip way. You know, he's not a feelings person, but he's gonna feed you pancakes. He sure as heck wouldn't have had that moment of being like, y'all, like, please give Henry the benefit of the doubt that I want the people I left to give me.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that was kind of a moment for him of going like, this is part of why I really want us to give Henry the benefit of the doubt, is because I also, poof, was gone.
Yeah.
I really liked that moment. What the fuck was with that drunk wizard? You have never mentioned that.
No, it has been mentioned.
It's been mentioned.
It has?
Yes.
I think it was.
Fuck.
It was either. It wasn't a big point of like.
It was one of those
Conversation.
things that it has popped up, but it's always been kind of like a throwaway. There's a million other things going on at the same time that we just like.
Just the one time that we all walked onto it. Wait a minute.
Okay, that's
much like Flip has a list of people we need to kill someday, Delia has a. All the times I've told Flip we should unpack that.
Yep.
Yeah, cut to the fact that we're going to be having a month break before season 2 starts, and it's going to be Kayla going through and recounting every single episode of Echoes of Zephyr to be like, all right, time to make a list.
oh yes.
But yeah,
There's
I
a
mean,
whole lot we need to unpack.
I think the other thing I've seen in terms of Flip's growth, though, is I think the party's approach to Flip has changed a lot. Like, folks have realized that, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems in their interactions that you guys have gone from, the other characters have gone from, oh, he's this weird little Fey dude that just kind of showed up, and he's weird, so we don't pay too much mind, we just let him do his thing, to there's a method to his madness, and he does care. He's not as evil as, well, he might be evil, but it's a good evil. Like, I think people, it seems
Neutral
like
evil, if you will.
there's more of an
It-
understanding to him
Like,
than there definitely was at the beginning, when it was very much, he's just a chaos machine.
yeah, it's gone from I don't know, I cannot predict you, I am going to observe and wait and see to okay, I there's an understanding. You sit there and you can follow the logic. It's a very specific type of logic, but okay, got it.
I think in terms of Mads and Flip, there was a very, very specific turning point. And that was the fight with Agdon. And leading, and like that entire, like, Agdon is charmed, we're trying to talk our way into an alliance, or at least like a way that we're working together. Because that was Mads and Flip kind of tag teaming it.
Speaking
And I
of-
think that was,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, it was Mads realized we were outmatched, and Flip was like, "Okay, snap, I'm on it." Speaking of things for season 2, we still haven't mentioned the fact that I've still got that rabbit brand back.
Oh shit.
Yeah. I
Nobody's
still can't feel joy. And I'm still fucked in the moonlight. It's great. You still have a brand. It's fine.
The rabbits could come back. That could be exciting. But yes, I definitely
Yeah.
think that's a turning point for Mads, and for Flip's view of the group too, of Mads. Like, it's not, because Flip was kind of like, oh my god, these people have so many feelings, it gets in the way of everything. And then he was like, all right, but you know, she packed it away when it needed and realized that we were going to get killed.
And it was like also Mads going in and taking that risk. They put themselves in between Delia and Cece. They put themselves in direct danger to try to turn those tides. And so like Flip seeing Mads and how they kind of handle conflict, because up until then, above table, we all know it's because everybody rolled like ass. Read as Joe rolled like ass.
I forgot
Um,
about it, but I know I did.
And like, so it led to Mads being like, well, fuck it, we got to end combat somehow. And so Mads busted out combat spells. But I never made Mads for combat. I made them for battlefield control, for charm, for being able to give buffs and different things like that. And I think once Flip saw Mads fully in their element, that was the like, oh, now I get what you're about.
And I am willing to follow once I know where you're going.
Yeah. But I'm so intrigued to see where like the Mads and Flip, like, I wouldn't call us friends quite yet, but definitely like good companions.
There is a mutual appreciation.
Yes. Of the like, all right, I see you, I respect you. We gotta work on this.
And then there's the beast who throws a ball at my head in the middle of
That was
That
so
was
funny.
hilarious.
And it was so distracting because it literally like conked me on the head and like bounced off. I still haven't found the ball. But then it It was this super intense moment, and I'm like, what the? But, you know, Flip gets distracted sometimes. It happens.
It's the Feywild,
Yeah.
man. It's the Feywild.
Anything can happen.
Yeah.
Speaking of unpacking that shit, Kayla, do you want to go next? Do you want me to go for Mads?
I don't know what I can say about Delia. I really don't. To be honest.
That's fair.
I designed her to be a problem and basically have to change. It did not go about the way I anticipated, and now I don't know what the hell I'm doing at any point.
So you're about
I mean-
one season away from being Flip level chaos then.
Oh God.
No, I don't think chaos is the name of the game for Delia.
Fair.
Just, I don't know.
I know for Mads specifically, the road that I really wanted them to take was the transition between self-preservation and self-sacrifice. And Mads is largely a person who is used to looking out for themselves. They're their number one. Because that's how they had to survive. And they act very, very different in public compared to the way that they act in private. That's specifically on Mads' character sheet. There's a public personality and a private personality. And for a very long time, in session, the only person that really saw that was Henry. And there were brief moments that Delia saw it, but then a whole bunch of stuff happened. And that kind of like created a little bit of that severance. But with Delia apologizing, that spoke a lot of volumes to Mads, because it wasn't lost on Mads that it wasn't just like the dead name. That was a very loaded apology. And it was very clear that Delia was like, I'm not going to get into the whole thing. We're not going to unpack the entire list. This is just a blanket statement of like, I fucked up, I'm sorry. And that did a lot in terms of repairing the bridge with Mads. And I think you're going to see that a lot in season 2. And then the other road that I didn't originally anticipate going in, but it just sort of developed as the campaign went on, was the Mads is non-binary thing, was this idea of self-discovery and coming to terms with who they specifically choose to identify as and embracing that rather than just shoving it away, because that's the easiest thing to do and that's what they had done up until this point. And I think that was interesting. It led to a lot of self-discovery on my part and discovering that I am she, they. That has been a whole personal development that's happened in the duration of this campaign. That was a thing that happened. Given that on Heroes and Hooligans specifically, and if I didn't figure this out sooner, boy howdy was this an indicator. I played 2 non-binary characters and 2 AFABs, so I'm like, she, they, there we are. There it is. It's right there. So that was a very clear indicator in hindsight, but I'm excited to see where Mads goes.
It's kind of the fun of these games, is getting to explore certain ideas and themes. They can change. God, they can change. I know there were things I wanted to explore in Delia, and then realized, okay, other people do this better. I don't know what to do. We'll figure it out later. And here we are, still trying to figure it out.
I think that Delia had a lot of like steps forward this session, though. So, getting into the nitty-gritty of it, What's everybody's thoughts on Henry's letter?
I think I said a lot.
I've told you what I thought as a player. As a character, I don't think I want to talk about that just yet.
That's fair.
Flip and I are in accord. Dad's gotta die.
I think we're all in accord. I'm like, man, fuck Lord Rousseau.
Like, as a player, I loved that. It was a very good letter.
Yeah. I know for Mads, like, the missing context was very important to them. Of the leave if you need to, but don't just dip like that. Tell us why. Like, without closure, we're all spiraling. But I can't fully speak for Huli. As for what exactly lies ahead for season 2 of Echoes of Zeppelin, but what I do know is that we are going to be welcoming some new members into the band. I do know at the present moment, just as a fun little teaser, we have a bassist coming in.
That is one thing we were missing.
Yeah. And I've been helping with the character concept just because DMing's my job. Why not? And I got sent a link to a Pinterest board and it was all basses. And I'm like, oh god, Mads is gonna get along with this person swimmingly because a bassist and a drummer, fuck yeah. Of that like foundational sort of bond. In terms of like creating music from the bottom up. It's a really cool character concept. I don't want to play all my cards and like share everything, but angsty bass player is going to be fucking dope. We don't know what the other one is going to be, as we are still actively casting. So for those of you who are in the audience, if being a part of Echoes of Zeppelin is something that you might be interested in, go ahead and join the Heroes and Hooligans server and get in touch with Huli. And yeah,
Come and play with us.
yeah.
We don't bite. Hard.
I also need you to know that Huli just swung into my Discord DMs going, hey, don't forget to recount the season. Bitch, I'm already on it. I'm already there. We already did it. But anything else that you guys largely want to add? Any expectations that you have going into season 2? Anything you want to see happen?
If Zai Zai doesn't wake up in season 2, I'll riot. I'm gonna burn it all down.
That'll be exciting.
Oh god.
Flip has new
Just hit me. There are 2 pyromaniacs in our party. It just hit me.
Flip has new fire.
Oh,
If
shit.
you want it to burn down. Let me know.
Did
Yeah,
you guys
that's
not
fair.
see me light a literal match?
Yes, I know, but it didn't fully. It's like, yes, CC likes fire, Flip likes fire. It never fully connected until just now. Like, oh,
Guys,
cool.
Jojo, I have Fireball.
I have Eldritch Blast. We can
burn the Feywild down if we want.
Jesus fucking Christ. That is a...
Hey, you're the one. You're the one who set up those superlatives and deemed Flip most likely
I did.
BEG.
That is a consistent shock to me. That's very funny.
And it keeps coming up.
Honestly, we may need to do that again now that we're at the end of the session. Like, at the end of the season. Just to like, we were there, now we're here. Who's gonna... But, yeah, I think... Yeah, you know what? I'll make a new one. That's just an easy replication of a Google form. And we can submit it as Patreon content. So if you guys are interested in the random superlatives that we collectively attempt to vote on with, you know, all 4 of us. So we'll see what happens.
Ooh, you should do one.
Make sure to subscribe to our Patreon.
Yes.
I said you should do one that you open up to the people, to the viewers.
Ooh, that would be interesting. Yeah,
Oh.
definitely do that. We'll do that.
Who
We'll
do-
get that
who
on
do
the
you
Heroes
think
and
is the-
Hooligans Twitter and just go nuts.
Yeah.
And it'd be really interesting to see the community input of what people think of our characters.
Oh, I don't want to know.
Never know. Might surprise yourself.
I don't like
What?
Delia.
She's getting there.
Eh.
She's getting there. She's closer than she was at the start of the session.
All right. Well, my dog is about to throw another ball at my head if I don't take her for her evening.
Absolutely. So,
Yeah.
this is where we are going to go ahead and call our after show ending on high notes. Thank you guys for sticking around through season 1. We will be back with season 2 in October. I know that Huli is still deciding on the exact date, whether or not it's going to be one Tuesday or another, but definitely stick around for Tuesdays if you're interested in some fun musical shenanigans and whatever the fuck our band's going to be named next season. Is it going to be Grocery Shop of Vengeance? You know what? It's grown shockingly high on the list.
Family Therapy is also on there now, so
Please not family therapy.
Family Therapy is one of the dumbest goddamn names I've ever heard for a band. But,
Like
all right.
Stop it.
One final time, guys.
Okay.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Check out our Patreon, and we will see you for season 2. Bye.